Myself, my name is Matthias Sutter. I'm born in Switzerland in a little town close to Zurich. It's called Oberembrach. Together with my three siblings, my parents, in a little village which has about 682 people living there. This is a town where actually everybody greets each other by name when you walk on the street. That's actually a very good question. And I've been asked that many times because I started the hotel management school when I was 26 or 25, so fairly late. Originally, I was every day, free day in my teenager days on the golf course, and my dream was always to become a golf professional. But in Switzerland, it's not very recognized to have a sport as your job. So when I said to my father, when he asked me what do you want to be, and I said I want to be a golf player, he says, yeah, you can play golf, but what do you want to be? So that didn't work. My passion was then actually architecture, so I studied architecture for 4 years. I finished, also I have to say, one of my sponsors at that time, he was in architecture, so it was very good. It worked both ways. I had time to go and play the tournaments while I'm actually studying at the same time. But I felt I'm not really fulfilled, only when I then I organized on the side private parties, events, and I think it started really to get my interest when early 20s, when I had a big birthday party and I made it a public party. Nobody knew it's my birthday. Many people came and everybody said, thank you, what a great party. And actually it was my birthday. All my best friends were working behind the bars and we had such a fabulous time creating together an event, an experience, making other guests happy, which I think was a very simple formula, and it was very successful, and I thought this is something I want to follow. That's when then I started the hotel management school back home in Zurich, and after that I went to Chicago, and since then never left the industry. To work in other countries, I mean, this is now my 11th country I live in, and some of the countries I had the chance to come back, like Thailand. I used to work in Bangkok before. And I think the most rewarding is the culture, the people. The people make a place. I think people always ask, everybody asks me, where did you like it more? Shanghai, Chicago, Zurich? And I can't really tell. I think it's in each different age you have different priorities. But what definitely is always the people who make the place happening. And all different cultures, sometimes different religions, etc. But on the end of the day, we are all citizens of the world. And I think when you work in the hospitality industry, you have this exposure and it gives you a bit of wider horizon than when I would stuck actually in Switzerland the whole time. So when I sometimes go back home, talk to my colleagues who went with me to school, but they stayed back home, they have a very different view of the world. And I don't say right or wrong, but I just feel very privileged to have had the opportunity to travel around. I think it's the team. I would say it's three pillars. One side is really the professional side, the other side is the family, and the third thing is the health, the sport. And when these three pillars are equally balanced, that's what I have to pay attention on. If one of them gets neglected, it swaps over to the other one. But if you ask me about what keeps me motivated at the job and the professional pillar, I would say it's the team. It's really working with colleagues, and especially in a resort like here, where we have such a big team and such a mature team who has been here for many years. It's a true joy. It's a true joy every day. Colleagues like you, colleagues throughout the whole day, interaction with each other, interaction with the guests. When I see them advancing in their career, but also on a day-to-day basis, when we achieve little success. I think in a hospitality, the beauty is you get instant feedback, both ways, but you get plenty of positive feedbacks, and that actually puts always a smile on my face, especially when it's created by one of my colleagues. My new journey started about 10 days ago, and what I made my first priority is really getting to know the team and taking time getting to know the team, because I just started here. I plan here to be 5 years, so I don't think my goal should be the first day to make changes. This is a mature property, mature colleagues, so at the moment it's my task to learn from the team, understand where we are, and then from there, moving in the direction which we think is the right strategy to move forward. At this moment, is really first priority is the team, getting to know the team. Like I just mentioned, actually, the first goal is really getting to know the team and understanding the dynamics of the island of Thailand. I've been in Thailand before, in Bangkok, but it's obviously very different. Even though the culture is the same, it's a very different pace, it's a very different focus. Here we have most guests of leisure, but of course we also have weddings, we have MICE groups. This resort really gives an endless opportunity, and I think the goal is really to focus on the right angles. We have a saying in Switzerland, you can't be on 2 weddings at the same time, which means you really have to focus your area. And obviously here we have to say focus, I would say the families is one. You know, we're well known for families, wedding is another part. But I also think JW Marriott, it should be a place where people meet, where activities are held, where education finds place, where people come to learn something in well-being, in sport, in fitness, but also in terms of society events. We have a wonderful ballroom for attractive evening events. The opportunities are endless, and that's why I think it's very important that I really first understand the market and the people here in Phuket. This is also an endless list here actually I could share with you. I think first of all it's the team. We are one of the matured properties, we are one of the matured team members. I'm always amazed how many long-term employees we have since pre-opening here who have a lot of knowledge. They know our regular guests because we have the hotel and the vacation club. We have a lot of guests who come every year and they're looking for the same associates. So it's really it's a very unique property at itself. The space is enormous. We have 14 different restaurants, so the choices are here. You actually have never, I'm now here 2 weeks and I have to say, remember myself, go outside the property and have a meal outside the property because I think I still haven't really tried all the restaurants yet in here. So it is like its own little world, I have to say. And I think this is what other hotels would not be able to compete with. I think it starts from day one, when Mr. Marriott said employee first, which he said with look after your team and they will look after your guests. And that's what he said in the early beginnings, and that's how the company lived throughout the many, many years. And now 90 years, and we still live after this concept. And I have to say, it's true. Whatever we do, every strategy, every event we do, it's always people first. In terms of taking care, in terms of their career development, the well-being, in all the different aspects, it's really people first. And I think that's where, if you look for an employee of choice, you want to have a sense of belonging. You want to feel you're part of it. And I have to say, since day one, I had that for myself, and that's what I tried to pass on to my team. The journey is really, I mean, there's many journeys, I always say. And what we see as a journey is really your journey with the company. And there are different associates, different colleagues. Some maybe retire with us, some left us and come back, some have been with us for 20, 30 years. So the journey has different paths. And as we all know, we always come here and there, we come to a crossroad, and either you go left or you go right. And I think what the Marriott journey shows is that there are many different ways, but that the company puts the first priority on you and yourself. So we have a development journey as well with elevator programs when people have the aspiration to move on in the career, and if they have to bring the right talent with them, they're getting in programs which enhances and trains them, improves their opportunity so they reach on the end their potential. Choose carefully your employer. Choose the employer who chooses you, and chooses you because you are you and because of what your strengths are and your skill and your personality. Don't try to fit in a pattern which you think that is what is expected. I think the beauty is what I saw is always when you let the people go really to their potential, give them the confidence that they do the right thing. Of course you have to have guidance along the way, but you can never fit into a pattern. The company needs actually to fit your pattern. With the right guidance, of course. So I think the company of choice is the one you know you're going to be the first priority, and you're not just being one of the candidates or being hired for whatever reason. And when you make your choice because of the people and the culture, and not necessary or not at all about the dollar amount. I think especially in early days, it's very, very important that you start on the right track and with the right fundament. And then later on, once you understand the industry, the business, you may have different motivations what you choose your career in. But in the early days, absolutely, it's important to have to, especially in the beginning, the first company, that this is the right one. I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for having me.